Chapter 2 Sankhya Yoga, the Yoga of Transcendental Wisdom. Arjun, with tear-dimmed eyes, struck with grief and passion, lost the zeal to life, sat in the state of utter depression. Lord Krishna calmly listened, gave a sweet snub to him. Like the wise you speak, but thy words lack wisdom. You grieve when you shouldn't, strayed, shameful to the brave. Warrior's race you belong to, like a warrior you must behave. Such submission to feebleness shall earn you disgrace. Cast off this cowardice, arise, the war you embrace. Arjun said, seeing Bhishma and Drona, grief in my heart grows. The worshipful men to me, how to shoot them with arrows. Instead of killing them, it's better to live on beggar's bread. I shall not enjoy feasts stained with their blood. Who knows whether they or we will die in the war? Completely uncertain of the consequences we are. By no means I see the end of my trouble. I pray thee, O Lord, in thy shelter like a disciple I am. Instruct me. God said, grieve not for those who live, nor for him who dies. He who sees the real self, soul, know him the wise. Perishable are the bodies, Arjun, but soul is eternal, unborn, undying, changeless, infinite, and unassailable. As one casts off a worn-out dress, puts on new attires, soul departs from the withered body, new one it acquires. No weapon can injure soul, it remains untouched ever. Fire has no strength to burn it, nor it wets by water. Air cannot dry it, nor withers with time. Soul is constant, invisible, unthinkable, unending, flawless, and omnipresent. One who knows soul thus, and in the mind contemplates, from passion and grief, certainly such person liberates. One who intends to see or know it, gets lost in wonder. Soul is beyond words and astonishing, such is splendor. Hidden it stays in all creatures, none can kill the deathless. Hence, vain is to grieve over anyone and to be in distress. One who takes birth is destined to die. Rebirth too is certain. So, why such grief over the inevitable and such depression? Those who sink in grief know them utterly ignorant, unaware of the fact the soul is eternal and constant. Lord tells Arjun, grieve not over any fond relation. Mind thy dharma, the duty, act upon with conviction. Those who forsake their duty, disgrace they get. To an esteemed person, disgrace is worse than death. Fortunate is the warrior, chance of righteous war who gets. Come what may, the battlefield he never deserts. Honorable is death in war, the warrior gets to heaven. And if triumphant, one enjoys abundance of kingdom. Dharma and knowledge of soul, Krishna thus teaches, the duty must not be given up in any circumstances. One must perform one's work without being involved. Lord Krishna imparted wisdom for benefit of the world. Buddhi Yoga it is called. Outstanding, say the seers. The world is enlightened by wisdom. God when appears. Pandit said, "What is Buddhi Yoga? Please explain, I pray. What is its specialty? To accomplish it, show me the way." Bonds of worth its spheres. Buddhi Yoga has the specialty. Selflessly one performs all works, remains ever free. Listen to second quality. In such karma one never fails. Contrary consequence or loss in this yoga never entails. From fear of life and death one frees. Other specialty of it. Even a little practice of this yoga yields great benefit. It firms the intelligence right, the most important matter. Such is the Buddhi Yoga. One must not forget ever. By stabilizing the intelligence, Sthit Pragya one becomes, remains firm on own duty, away from the worldly whims. One's right is limited to work, no control over consequences. Duty is the religion of yogi. Never give it up in any circumstances. Equable yogi remains in success and failure too. Untainted life he lives, always free of vice and virtue. Yoga of equability it is called. One who adheres to this, renounces fruits of karmas, attains the supreme bliss. By renouncing fruits of karmas, intellect becomes constant. One stays steady in samadhi, thus attains enlightenment. Arjun asks Lord, Sthit Pragya when one becomes, how he behaves, O Lord, what are his symptoms? Hearing Arjun's curiosity, nature of Sthit Pragya thus told, renounces desires that shake the mind, contemplates soul, turns the senses inwards, complacent in soul he remains, neither grieves on loss and troubles, nor exults in gains, craves not for comforts, free of anger, fear and attachment. Inauspicious and ominous, Sthit Pragya stays constant. The wise turtle as withdraws its frail senses within, similarly the senses are restrained by Sthit Pragya person. The senses one masters, these sway the mind otherwise. Sthit Pragya is self-governed, the one truly wise. Another special quality the Sthit Pragya person gets. In God he remains absorbed, away from sensual objects. Remember, musing on sense objects springs attraction. Attraction begets desire, which flames to fierce passion. Passionate person unmindfully resorts to offense. Passion breeds anger that deludes the intelligence. Anger begets illusion. Memory of the person then strays. Strayed memory ruins intelligence. Everything then decays. They escape from ruin, firmness of intelligence who attain. Resist worldly temptations, from sense objects they abstain. Pandit said, but objects are with senses, senses with a person. How to be Sthit Pragya in such a precarious situation? From strain of the senses who freeze, Yukt the Gita calls him. Senses dwell in their objects then, mind rests aloof from them. The mind purifies thus, prasad, the tranquility one attains. Prasad ends all afflictions, intuitive intelligence one obtains. If mind follows senses, intuitive intelligence never one gets. Senses delude intellect, as whirlwind drifts a boat and wrecks. Pandit said, "My lord, significant is stability of intelligence. More I would like to listen in this specific reference." Shri Prabhuji said, "Pandit, deep wisdom shlokas of the Gita contain. The words of Lord Krishna to you I shall explain. Life of Sthit Pragya Yogi differs from that of the world. Outstanding indeed, divine life it has when called. The day of Yogi is commoner's night. The day of commoners is Yogi's night." It means Yogi is the one who realizes soul and supreme spirit. He remains awake in the state of enlightenment, which is the day of a yogi, but night to common people, whereas common people remain active in the transient worldly affairs, which is like a night to a yogi. A special feature Lord told, Sthit Pragya attains serenity. His mind attains vastness of the sky and depth of the sea. As the sea stays steady, Sthit Pragya attains this quality. No desire disturbs him. He always lives in tranquility. As water of countless rivers falls in the sea every day, the sea never violates its bounds. Yogi lives the same way. Senses pour streams of desires into the mind's ocean. Yogi remains firm on his aim without any commotion. Renouncing all desires, away from attachment he rests. Egoless yogi lives like Lord, not like a slave of his lusts. One attains yoga thus, the Brahmi state, the greatest of all. Even if attained at end of life, one unites with Supreme Soul. Brahmi state is the state of union of self with the Absolute, the Supreme State or salvation. Thus ends the Upanishad of the celestial song, the knowledge of God realization, the scripture of Yoga, the dialogue between Lord Krishna and Arjuna, named Sankhya Yoga, the Yoga of transcendental wisdom. Om.